everyone, and welcome to your weekly World Energy Healing session for this 16th day of June 2026. Happy birthday to my friend down in Brazil. Have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. And what we're going to do today is look at negative energy. All right. So, what we want to do is locate in your body mind where that negative energy would be. So you might feel it. So I even feel like, strangely enough, as soon as I said that, I feel as though from my navel to my right sacrum, there's like a line of negative energy. Just for example, that's not necessarily what you would go through. So just feel it. You might, it's not necessarily pain. Pain could be a deferred energy from the negative energy. Now, this negative energy could be something you picked up in your life while you're walking around. We can walk by people and pick up their energy. It could be karmic. It could be something coming from karma. Okay, that's fine. It could be coming from your lineage. It could be on your epigenetics and triggering your epigenetics. So if you have some difficulty in your body, right? We have allergies. We have, there's autism now, autoimmune disorders, scoliosis, cancers, whatever we've got going on could be triggered by our lives around us that comes down from our genetic lineage. So we want to work through and just kind of help help ourselves. I think that's what we need to look at is, how are you going to help yourself locate it? Well, first, you want to be as quiet as possible, non-judgmental. You don't really want to be using your mind to do something here. You want to use more your feeling sense. Now, if you are unable to feel, you might have your hearing, you might have your vision. Some people are clairvoyant, some people smell things, some people taste things, some people hear things. The strongest one is sense of touch. So usually we feel something. If you don't have any of those, don't worry about it. It'll find it. Okay. So if you're not feeling anything, stay with the I'm not feeling anything. Let's let this energy find the area that has a buildup of negativity. Now, let's add a corollary here. Negative energy, positive energy, it's all energy. Okay. It's only our, let's say, beliefs or attachments to it that turn it into something negative. Okay, because it can get neutralized. If you have enough negative energy in a room and enough positive, it'll get neutralized. But in the end, it's all energy. We just want it to go into the earth. Mother Earth, she no care. She doesn't care if it's positive or negative. She likes it. And I had this experience when I was in my late 20s. I was down in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and I was just having this moment of, all the country, the drama queen Gemini, right? The big drama queen that I am. I turn around and I'm like, oh, I can't let go of all this energy. It would be so destructive of the world. Oh, I gotta keep it inside me. Drama, 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 drama. And then Miss Drama Queen hears, a voice, whatever, and says, just release it. Didn't say dummy, but I added dummy. Just release it, dummy. I released it. And it was really cool because in front of me on the horizon, I just, it could have been my brain. I don't know. But I see this light kind of amplify and go down. And the earth goes, oh, yeah, thank you. That was nice to get a little extra energy. Don't be so selfish in the future and keep all your energy to yourself. So I thought that was a great learning lesson for me to go, oh, energy is energy. It's just my head that makes me turn it into this negative or positive. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, yes, but you can have poltergeists. You can have yeah, sure you can, but you can also transmute that. Right? You can also transmute it into something that is neutral. So, hey, whatever. That's what we are doing now. But we're doing it mostly for our bodies. Let's get it going for our homes as well. That would be nice that energy moves from our homes. We're going to also relate that energy and put it in parallel to the physiology. So I'm just going to just give me a moment to look at a tarot card to see why this is coming up, because we didn't quite discuss this in our little group beforehand. Oops, card fell. And here we go. We've got, all right, this is the sun. So beautiful. I don't know if you can see it, but it is the sun. So the sun is usually the manifestation. It is the masculine. The masculine is the moving energy, the manifesting. So it kind of relates to my story that I just told, where the sun kind of went boop, and I felt that energy moving. So we're going to use the physiology of the planet of the sun, of the, not the physiology, the physical, right? Because we're working energetic. I want to use physical now. So what's in my physical home? What's in my physical body? We want to use the sun. And also we're not yet at the full moon, but we are in the waxing moon. Can anyone tell me if we're in the waxing moon or not? Let me look. So we had the first quarter and the full moon's next week. Okay, so we're in the waxing moon. We're going to be going on Sunday into the second quarter of the waxing moon. So this is lovely. This is a great time. Cut your hair, do things like that. So we'll get this energy to increase the let's say neutralization of the negative energy. So even as I'm talking, I'm tuning into the sun, I'm tuning into day. We're going to, oh, by the way, yes, I just realized 21st. It is the first day of summer, longest day of the year. So I can really feel that energy, increasing the capacity to burn the negative energy. It's going from I mentioned that I'm feeling it from navel to my right sacrum. And I could just feel, I'm even moving in that way where it's all moving and releasing. So notice yours. Let's bring in, just imagine the sun, even if it's a rainy day where you are, even if it's snowing where you are, even if it's cold, even if it's gray, just imagine the sun. That sun, remember sunlight. Here's the third one. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. And what are we disinfecting? The negative energy. Now, we do need to kind of move into belief systems. So a lot of our negative energy is about what we believe. I'm going to focus it because, we can go, belief systems are all over the place. We've got a ton of them. Let's go with a very specific one where this is going to be mostly for people. We all do this at some point. Some people might be just other blamers. I'm sure they exist. Like everything's on a spectrum. So we're going to work with mostly where we blame ourselves, right? We blame ourselves for what we feel. We blame ourselves for what's going on. We blame ourselves for what's happening around us. We blame ourselves for how we reacted. We blame ourselves for being tired. We blame ourselves for being too energetic. We blame ourselves for being in the middle road. We blame ourselves for every word that comes out of our mouth. That kind of, if you're like me, and I can see someone in the group smiling, it's also kind of like me, where okay, every little thing, it's my fault. How narcissistic of us, right? That we think everything's our fault. What do I think? I'm the controller of the universe, that everything is my fault? Yeah, I guess so. Somewhere along the line, there's a narcissistic tendency to think that we're the cause of everything. So it's kind of nice if you eliminate that, then you're way more in the ordinariness of life, where blame, no blame, whatever's going on. I don't mean complete uncaring, but not really caring. Like, stop caring about things so much. I don't mean caring about your loved ones. I don't mean that kind of thing. Caring about things we don't need to care about. So let's look at that. We're going through the small intestine to do that. That's where our discernment is a little bit screwed up, right? So when we're trying to discern something, we kind of have a filter that says, well, I might discern whether I'm doing a good thing or a bad thing, but I have a tendency to think everything I do is bad. Now I can see the other side, where some people think the tendency that everything they do is good. Okay. So that's coming in as well. We're going to look at that as negative as well, because any type of filtration that says you are doing something to your own judgment that's great or not. I don't mean discernment. Like, you know how well you did in an exam, you know how well you're doing at your job. But let's say somebody's just thinks they're always doing really badly in their job when the proof is you're doing really well. You've got customers, or you're working in a company and you're praised for the work that you do, you're benefiting the company, you're benefiting the people around you, but you still have a negative bent on yourself. That's not very good. And a lot of people who do that often think, if I stop doing that, then I won't perform. That's not true. That's not true. Your nature will come out. That's in your heart, your natural nature to want to do things because it's fun. Why do I do this? I What benefit do I gain? I could do this by myself and treat myself. But the benefit I gain is that I like doing it. And then I have a few people that come on and we hang out together. And some people make comments. There's my benefit to what I do here. So we just love the things that we do, and we have enthusiasm. If we don't have that, you're dragging your feet too. That's another negativity. So I don't believe when someone is super critical that they don't love what they do. They do love what they do. They're just hypercritical and possibly perfectionist, or just not wanting to make a mistake is also perfectionism. But there's this criticism that seems to follow. So let's work through all of those things. They're going to have a bunch of tentacles coming from your intellect. The intellect is the gut, even though everyone thinks everything's all up here and super smart. And, you know, uh, my mind is in my head. No, it's not. The mind is everywhere. It interacts with other people. It's really like the internet, the mind. But everybody goes, it's in my brain. No, it's not. Your belief systems are throughout the nervous system, in your energy fields, and it's connected to everything. The mind does not have a location. But when you're looking at discernment, the ability to discern, the ability to think properly, that's your gut. If you're not having gut responses, gut answers, usually end up here, and you're rationalizing and doing all kinds of different things in the head. This doesn't mean you don't use the brain. Of course you do. But if your body's not working properly, the brain might not work properly either. And usually that's the gut. We also have a heart brain. The brain is everywhere, by the way, it's everywhere. So yes, you could lose a limb and still function even better because you're using different parts of the brain. There's no set answer to this. I can hear people going, yeah, but what if I can't use my legs? Will my brain work? Well, yes and no. That's the answer. Yes and no. When I was, unable to use my legs and I didn't move that much, my brain struggled. But since I'm able to move again, I feel like, oh my God, my brain's coming back. I can think better. I can do more. I can have a lot more input coming into my head. Sometimes it's terrible input, but it's input in any case. Whereas before it's like, I can't watch this, I can't see that, I can't do this. I got to just be limited, right? Because my entire brain was not functioning. And I, as a woman, like movement, as you can tell, I like to move. I like to move. So always good to move. If you can't move, then there's got to be a dynamism to help you move, like other people making your body move, etc. Okay, so I'm not going to go too far into that, but you can do your own research and understand yourself a little bit better and how your body mind works. Here, we are just moving that negative energy so that you're able to move better, even if it's minute movements, even if it's tiny ones. And there's somebody who came on today into the group, and she has just gone to the gym. She is in her late 70s. She always looks beautiful, but she just went to the gym this morning. And I tell you, I can see her right now, and she is glowing. She is absolutely beautiful. So, yes, movement is great, and she's proof of it. All right, everyone, have a great day. Breathe, drink water, and move. That's going to make your life wonderful. Have a great week and see you next week. Bye.